This is Tank's Vlog for March 6, 2019, wrapping up today in sports, brought to you by Allow Me to Be Frank. Stay tuned, we'll be returning soon with new live shows. Sign up and become the first to know when we do. The Warriors certainly did not come out to play on Tuesday night, as the Boston Celtics, a team sleepwalking themselves, came into Oakland and absolutely laid them down and put them behind the woodshed. 128-95 final. It's one of the best games the Celtics have played all season. I mean, the Celtics, this is a team that would look like disinterested on the recent homestand. And to start a long West Coast road trip like this is a very positive sign. But perhaps the biggest sign of hope is how Gordon Hayward came off the bench today, scoring 30 points. If they could get Hayward going, maybe the Celtics can actually wake up and be the team that everyone expected them to be. The East, though, things are getting quite interesting in the East, to say the least. As now all of a sudden the Toronto Raptors are starting to scuffle, as they lost at home to the Houston Rockets 107-95. James Harden, another big night with 35 points. 76ers, meanwhile, slid past the Magic 114-106. Was the Pacers 105-96 winners over the Chicago Terribles. The Memphis Grizzlies stunned the Trailblazers 120-111. And that's your night in the NBA. So, a little over a month left. It's going to be interesting to see how these things goes before the real season begins in the playoffs. And the Warriors right now, Warriors look like they could be had at times. And tonight was another example. 44-20. Not a good performance at all by Golden State. So, keep an eye on that. Maybe this year's NBA playoffs might actually be somewhat interesting. NHL and the Devils, it's like Ray Ramirez is on their bench right now as their trainer. Tons and tons of injuries. No surprise, they lost again. This time in a shootout to the Blue Jackets 2-1. I mean, let's just hope that they could get a good draft pick out of this, what is now a totally lost season. Bruins, meanwhile, beat the Hurricanes in a overtime win, 4-3, on a goal by David Krejci. Right now, Bruins are playing the best hockey in the NHL, their best hockey of the season. But is this going to be like last year? Are they going to peak too soon? Their key matchups are going to be their first two playoff rounds, which are going to be extremely tough. The Atlantic Division is very top-heavy. We got the top three teams, or probably might even be the top three teams in the East. Minus the Capitals, of course, but Maple Leafs, Bruins, Lightning, those are two absolute strong teams, and anyone who comes out of that will have to be considered a favorite in the Eastern Conference Finals. Islanders got Barry Trotz's 800th career coaching win, and it was a shootout win over the Senators. I don't know if you wanted to go into a shootout against the Senators. Islanders, since their emotional win on Thursday against the Maple Leafs, haven't been playing their best hockey. So, getting a win is important, but they need to play better once the playoffs begin, and that's for damn sure. Jake Guentzel scored twice, including overtime for the Penguins, as they beat the Panthers 3-2. It was the Lightning getting back on track pouncing on the Jets 5-2. It was the Predators in the shootout 5-4 over the Wild. Ben Bishop made 28 saves as the Stars blanked the Rangers 1-0. Nathan MacKinnon scored in overtime to lead the Avalanche past the Red Wings 4-3. Rivalries. Isn't rivalries something else? You know, the Red Wings have moved to the East. Their dynasty is now over. They're rebuilding. They're one of the worst teams in the NHL. But just think, 20 years ago, that for a few years, that Avalanche Red Wing rivalry was red hot. Now, no, even blinks an eye when those two play each other. It was the Ducks, 3-1 winners over the Coyotes. Very bad loss for Arizona, who was getting close to getting into playoff contention. Meanwhile, the Canadiens beat the Kings 3-1 as Carey Price is now tied all-time with Jacques Plante in career wins. It was his 314th career win, which is tops among goalies for Le Montreal Canadiens. Today's 3 stars are Ben Bishop of the Stars with his 28 save shutout, Karl Anthony Towns, who had 41 points, 14 rebounds as the Timberwolves beat the Thunder. Timberwolves finally a good game, and it's rewarding for the Timberwolves. What a disappointing team that is, I tell you. Meanwhile, Russell Westbrook did have a good game today, as the Timberwolves won that game again, 131-120. And Gordon Hayward, of course, had 30 points off the bench that led the Celtics to their victory. Today's birthday is a man who flopped his way into international fame and changed his sport forever. I'm talking about Dick Fosbury, who turns 72. And we take a look back to Dale Hawerchuk of the Winnipeg Jets, who had 5 assists in one period, setting an NHL record on this date in 1984. Check out the full story of Barstool Sports and its Sports Encyclopedia, where sports history lives. Good day.